This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane.
Here we are with a song that's over 50 years old, but one thing that hasn't changed at all, when he said, it seems like the whole town's insane. Well, Los Angeles hasn't gotten any saner in the last 50 years. It's just gotten crazier. Good morning, and welcome to a special Black Friday edition of the Clarion Call, Opinions and Reaction. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I was very thankful to hear from my long-lost friend Howard Appell in the last week. Those of you who are long-time followers of the channel or have seen any of our early videos know that Howard and I started this channel together in 2022. We did about 6 months worth of videos together before his health forced him to retire. And I've been doing it solo ever since August of 22. And I haven't seen Howard since then. I know he's had a number of health challenges, and I hadn't even heard from him in about a year. Last time I heard, he called me up and he said he was feeling better and he maybe tried to get back into doing some videos, and then I didn't hear anything again until just this week when he showed up on Facebook and he asked if I still had a copy of his Flying Burrito Brothers poster, which you see here on the screen. This is a poster from a show that the Burrito Brothers did in Toronto in May of 1970, and Howard was at the concert and he got all 5 members of the Classic Burritos to sign his poster. It's a little hard probably for you to read, but the one name you might be able to see is Sneaky Pete, the great steel guitar player. That one's legible. Some of them are written upside down. Some of them are written in ink that's hard to read. But Howard wanted me to see if I could clean up the signatures since I do have a print shop. In any case, it was great to hear from Howard, and it got me thinking about the original Flying Burrito Brothers reaction that we did together back in 2022 to the song Christine's Tune, which was also known as The Devil in Disguise. And then I remembered that a year ago, actually also on Thanksgiving, I had done my own reaction to another Burrito song, Wild Horses. So we've done 2 reactions over the years to the Flying Burrito Brothers, who are actually one of my favorite groups. In all my reminiscence, since a year after my last effort, I thought, well, let's do another one. I'm going to do another one off their famous first album, The Gilded Palace of Sin, and this one is called Sin City, but not the Sin City that you're probably thinking about, because most people think of Las Vegas as a Sin City. But actually, this song was written about Los Angeles, where both Graham Parsons and Chris Hillman, the 2 main founders of the group, were living together in an apartment in 1970, right before this album came out, or 69, I guess. So I'll start playing a little of that, and then we'll have a little more to say about it. By the way, I have also added captions to this song.
This old town's filled with sin. It'll swallow you in if you got some money to burn. Take it home right away. You got 3 years to pay, but Satan is waiting his turn.
Satan is always waiting, isn't he? Especially with the credit card companies and the big banks. They've got 6 ways from Sunday of getting hold of your money, taking 3% of everything and 24% interest for all the poor people that can't afford to pay up front. So he has that right. So Chris Hillman, who's on the extreme right of this is album cover, said that he and Graham, right next to Chris, said that he was living in an apartment. I guess they'd both recently had some romantic issues and broke up with their girlfriends, were living together. And he said he woke up in the morning and this song, the first verse, came to him and he wrote it down, and they said, I gotta wake up Graham. And so he woke up Graham. He said the whole song was finished in about half an hour. It's a great commentary on Los Angeles over 50 years ago, which, if anything, has probably gotten worse.
This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane.
there's your chorus. Obviously, Los Angeles is an area that is prone to earthquakes, and they're always expecting the big one from the San Andreas fault. They've had some pretty big ones, but the big one might result in the whole city falling into the ocean. The reference to the 31st floor and the gold-plated door, apparently that was their manager of their group. He had an office on the 31st floor with a very elaborate gold-plated door. Their point, of course, is that money is not going to save you from the Lord's burning rain.
The scientists say it'll all wash away, but we don't believe anymore. 'Cause we've got our recruits and our green mohair suits, so please show your ID.
If you're listening to this with stereo headphones, which I would highly recommend, you'll notice that you can hear Graham's voice on one side and Chris's voice on the other, and they sing very well together in harmony. The other members of the group, of course, sitting down in the black is Sneaky Pete, and then I believe that might be Chris Etheridge behind him. Missing from the picture for some reason is the drummer Mike Clark. Clark, Hillman, and Parsons were all together at one point in the Bird. Parsons' addition to that group is credited with the turn they took towards country in their classic 1968 album, Sweetheart of the Rodeo. He had a big part in that. Graham was very unstable, was involved with a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs, and he was out to see the world, and he hooked up with the Rolling Stones when they went to Europe and became best friends with Keith Richards and lived with him for a while in the south of France. When the Birds were going to South Africa, he decided not to go, and so he got thrown out of the Birds, but then shortly after that, he hooked up back with Chris, and they brought Mike along, and they formed their own group. As far as believing what the scientists say, well, no, we don't anymore. Unfortunately, the scientists have proven to be frauds for the most part, who will discover whatever their funders tell them to discover, or what the government funds to be discovered.
This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, a gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. A friend came around, tried to clean up his town. His ideas made some people red. He trusted his crowd, so he spoke right out loud, and they lost the best friend they had.
So there's always been a little bit of debate about who are they talking about, this friend who came to town and tried to clean it up. And of course, that's a classic story. You can go all the way back to Jesus, who tried to clean up the money changers out of the temple and they got crucified for his efforts. Or you could go back just a month or two ago and talk about Charlie Kirk, who was trying to clean up the mess on college campuses and got killed for his efforts. But apparently this reference was to Robert F. Kennedy Sr., who you may recall was the leading candidate for the Democratic nomination for president in 1968 after he won the California primary in June, but was shot as he was leaving the hotel that night and died the next day. That apparently was who they were talking about in this particular reference.
This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor,
not 100% sure who's playing the piano there at the end. It's credited to Graham, but I know that on a few other songs on this record, Leon Russell actually was playing the piano, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was Leon. Here we are with a song that's over 50 years old, but one thing that hasn't changed at all, when he said, "It seems like the whole town's insane." Well, Los Angeles hasn't gotten any saner in the last 50 years. It's just gotten crazier, as we've seen in recent months and years. I think I'm going to make this a tradition to do a Flying Burritos reaction every Thanksgiving. And hopefully maybe next time around Howard can join me. He's the authority on Graham Parsons. He's read everything there is to know about Graham. So I miss him when I do reactions like this. He's also extremely knowledgeable about Bob Dylan, and I would love to get him involved with my other channel, Deciphering Dylan, because he could add a lot. So good to hear from you, Howard. I'm dedicating this video to you. I hope you get to see it, and I hope I'll be seeing you soon.